Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Barry, that Goat Metal Show with the weekly recap. Hope everybody's doing good. Hope everybody's having a great week as it is Valentine's Day. Let's go out there and just be all bloody and shit. All right, happy Valentine's Day to everybody who celebrates and enjoys. It should be Valentine's Day, everybody, with your significant other. But hey, they got that one day where everybody wants to go and make money off flowers, chocolates, and all the other stuff. But hey, the women love it, and we are the men who are the fools. Just keep buying them and let them enjoy it. Gotta make them happy, right, guys? Let's just keep it going. All right, let's get into some news. All right, it seems Arch Enemy and ex-vocalist Angela Gassow could be reuniting. All right, last November, the metal world was shocked to learn that Arch Enemy was splitting with their vocalist Alisa Whitegloves seemingly out of nowhere. She's since moved on and started work on her solo career, but Arch Enemy largely remained silent. That is until this morning, which was yesterday. In an unexpected turn of events, it seems like Arch Enemy could be welcoming back former Face to handle vocals, as speculation suggests former frontwoman Angela Gassow could be returning to the fold. Having remained the band's business manager, she's been familiar with the goings-on in the band. She's even gave Whitegloves her approval when the lineup change happened in 2014. Well, look, I mean, hey, honestly, if from a standpoint, I mean, look, I actually like some of the older Arch Enemy when Angela was the singer of the band. If anything, I kind of enjoyed her vocals a little better. I mean, to me, and then it just seemed like, this girl, Alisa was more into like the vegan stuff, the animals, save the animals, trying to look, the part of being the front woman, looking good, and to me that I think it was more of a look and a persona than actually what was going on with the band. To be honest with you, that's just my take. Angela was always a good front woman. I thought she just held a good presence when she performed live, and I think it'd be the wise choice to bring that girl back, man. Angela, I agree. I think she should come back. She's the best person for the job. And I would go from there. All right. So bring back Angela. All right. Now we go into the world of Wasp. All right. They have announced a major U.S. and Canada tour for fall 2026, unveiling the title 1984 to Headless Tour, with KK Priest confirmed as very special guest. Kicking off on September 10th in California and running through October 31st, the tour will see Wasp return to North American stages, playing selected hits from their first 4 albums. A period that frontman Blackie Lawless calls foundational to the band's legacy. So the 1984 The Headless Tour pays tribute to the era that cemented Wasp's place in rock history. I think that's going to actually be a pretty good tour. Some good, having KK Priest in there, great band. And if you want to get yourself some nostalgia, go over there and check out Wasp. I mean, even though, Blackie Lawless is starting to look like a weird old woman, but hey, that's just the takes of getting older and doing things to yourself that you shouldn't be doing. But Wasp still is a fucking legendary band. Those first four albums are awesome. And why not? See it live, get your chance. Remember, these guys are all getting older. You're not going to get a chance to see this anymore, so go and get your tickets. All right, now we get into the world of the Melvins, and Napalm Death have officially joined forces for a full-length collaborative album titled Savage Imperial Death March, set for release on April 10th. All right, while the title may be familiar to fans of the band's legendary Savage Imperial Death March tours in 2016-2025, this marks the first ever proper studio album created jointly to both groups. Not a split, but a genuine collaboration featuring members of each band writing, recording together. That's going to be so fucking awesome. Considering the fact that both bands, they got their own unique styles, and to hear both of them together, that's going to be, I can't wait to fucking hear it. It's going to be awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. And should be coming out sometime soon. So, make sure you guys get your chance to go and get this fucking great collaboration. The Melvins and Napalm Death. We have Metal Bochinche. We got some doozies for you. All right? All right. First one's going to be in the world of Slaughter to Prevail and Behemoth. Planned performances by Russian deathcore outfit Slaughter to Prevail and Polish black and death metal veterans Behemoth have been officially canceled in Istanbul, Turkey, following pushback from local groups citing conflicts with socialist values. Istanbul Governor David Gull addressed the cancellations on social media. No activity that corrupts society in Istanbul has been permitted up until this day and will not be permitted in the future either. An official press release from the governor's office explained that the show scheduled Zorlo Performance Arts Center stage on February 10th were prohibited due to widespread public backlash. Now, considering that, all right, I mean, look, Istanbul, Turkey, I mean, that's a country that's, basically Muslim, and I guess it's, I mean, some Muslim countries are a little bit more, going to let people come in and, they have certain things that maybe that they ask for. But, look, Slaughter to Prevail, and I think for Slaughter to Prevail, it was something about Russian propaganda. And, of course, Behemoth, you already know Behemoth just, goes after all religions, so they're not happy about that. But, again, this is the same thing that happens where, when you got people who come over here to the United States playing, and then you wonder why, people are just going after certain bands to want to cancel them or whatever. I get it, But my thing is, this is what dictates both countries. You got a country that will just immediately cancel you because of how they feel. And then you come over here to this country where they let you do what you want. But the people have issues and then they want to cancel people left and right. Look, over here you got the option where if somebody comes here to play that you don't like, don't go and watch. Right? You don't need to cancel them. That's a perfect example of that right there, man. So sometimes take that into consideration when, when you talk and crap about freedom of speech and what you want and what you don't want. Think about what was going on over there in Turkey. These bands can't play because the government feels they're too extreme and they talk about extreme shit that they don't want the people to hear. So there you go. All right, let's keep that freedom of speech going, right? All right, now we go into the world of punk pioneers from Massachusetts, Dropkick Murphys. The Dropkick Murphys announced the band had parted ways with the Wasserman Talent Agency after the company's founder, Casey Wasserman, was named in a newly released batch of files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The Quincy, Massachusetts-based band shared the announcement on Instagram, and they basically just, talked about it. They basically said they've been with them for so long, and it's a shame that this guy was was caught into the files, so they didn't want to be associated with him. And they were with this company for a long fucking time. So there goes that. So it is what it is. I mean, and the thing is, too, that a lot of these things with the Epstein files is coming out. And the one thing people got to remember when it comes to these Epstein files, just because somebody's name pops up on it doesn't mean that they have some type of shit going on with Epstein and all the shit that he did. So, sometimes you really got to do your research. I'm not saying Mr. Wasserman wasn't involved or is involved or whatever, but if this is just more a knee-jerk reaction because his name popped up, I think it's kind of fucked up from them. I think they really got to do their due diligence of really checking into it before they did that. But it is what it is. They put it out there. It's already a done deal. But it is. And I'm sure there's going to be massive more people that are going to pop out from this, and I'm sure there'll be more backlash. All right, now we go into the world of skeletal remains. Skeletal Remains vocalist and guitarist Chris Monroe is reportedly banned from future appearances on the 70,000 Tons of Metal cruise following allegations of inappropriate behavior during last year's events. According to multiple attendees, accounts shared on social media and Reddit, Monroe was allegedly intoxicated throughout the cruise and is accused of groping several women without their consent. Numerous eyewitness testimonies have been posted online describing separate incidents. Dude, you're not, hey, look, I get it. You want to use the fact that you're drunk and you're doing stupid things. So at a certain point, you just can't use that excuse anymore. And, I mean, look, you never know what the fuck could happen. If this guy is drunk and being belligerent, who knows what he'd do to a woman, throw into a fucking room and, who knows what could happen. It's a shame. And it's going to be a bad stain on this band. This band is really going to have to figure themselves out and see what they're going to do. Because basically now Skeletal Remains is just going to be known for the singer that gets drunk and gropes women. So you guys are going to have to figure that shit out. That's some really fucked up shit. I think there's a band meeting in order. Just saying. Last but not least, we're going to talk about our brother, Vincent Crowley. All right, he put out a post basically warning our bands about some rip-offs that are going on. I'm going to read his post, okay? Warning all bands, I recently received an email from Steel Broker Records. If you read the letter, it looks like a standard decent deal for 7-inch picture disc, but Oliver's name and his location in Germany seemed way too familiar and raised red flags. So I did a deep dive into him and the company. And then there was Ali from the old Turbo Music days, who originally put out Asheron's Rites of the Black Mass, along with bands like The Herod, Goat Lord, Funeral Nation, and Mortuary, and more. This guy has ripped off bands for years. After Turbo Music went under, he came back under different names like Metal Age Recordings, Metal Bastard Records, and who knows what else. Here is my experience from dealing with this con man. He paid for the debut Asheron album to be made, gave us a bunch of broken promises, told us about fake tours, never gave us product, discontinued contract, and then re-released generic versions of the album without our consent for years. I don't want anyone in the metal community to have to go through all the troubles I had to for years, especially new bands that will be something tempting like this and fall into the trap. I'm actually shocked that this moron had the nerve to make this offer to me after our previous issues. Not to mention, why wouldn't he address the elephant in the room about working together in the past? This is just a warning. Don't take my word for it. Feel free to do your own research. Keep riff-offs out of our scene. Vincent Crowley. He said it right there. All right, so just make sure you guys be careful, especially when you come to some of these fucking labels. They promise you the world. Look, I'll say it like this: as long as you get something in your hands. But if they over there just talking shit and you don't see nothing, good chance they're bullshitting. All right, so there you go, man. More power to Vincent, Asheron. All right, this is Barry, that Goat Metal Show. I'm going to send it over to Rich, silent producer, to see what he got. Take it over, Rich.
Thanks, Barry. This Sunday, live at Niagara, God's Favorite. Free show, 16 and over. February 22nd at the Lucky 13 Saloon, United Forces, Scarhead, Enrage, Electrocutioner, Functional Idiots, and many more, live. Just announced Saturday, May 18th at TVI, Negative Plane, Antichrist Siege Machine, Wrath Prayer, and others, live. In festival news, June 18th through the 20th, live, Czech Death Fest 2026 with Avulse, Bloodbath, Sarcophago, Juder, Asphyx, Possessed, and many others. And now here comes Tone Joker's pick of the week. Towering Altars of Misanthropy from Lysergic, hailing from Calgary, Alberta, Canada. 6 tracks of black metal. And this week, Tone Joker's cassette is Funeral Dancer from New York.